Yo, what is going on, YouTube? Back again. It's the Brat Man. Today, I have a 1991 Suzuki DR650s. Beautiful looking bike. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and you just gotta look at it. That's all you can do. You just gotta look at it. Wow. It's amazing. So as you can see, this bike is it's a little rough. And I think I paid too much for it. But this bike could be yours. It might be for sale, and it could be yours. The good thing is, the engine is in good shape. Plenty of compression. A little bit of surface rust, a little bit, but not rot. But we can sand this down. That's savable. But overall, solid plastics. Very clean. No cracks. No major dents. The seat is in pretty decent shape. Looks good. And we have a few problems with this bike. One problem would be the brake calipers were like sticking. So the guy I got it from unbolted them so he can roll the bike. So basically what we're looking at is minor stuff. Fix the calipers. They just might need to be, cleaned up a little bit. We're going to try to save those. And so that's one thing. The second thing would be the fuel. The gas smells like varnish. So let's take a smell test. Yeah, it's old. Fuel tank's actually in good shape. It's clean inside. Solid tank. But for 1991, it's all here, man. It's all here. I mean, check out the colors, man. I mean, this is a 1991. Not a 250, not a 125, not a 250. It's not a 350. It's not a 400. It's not a 450. It's a 650. Look at this, folks. Look at this. 650. DR650. Let me tell you something. This bike is heavy. I rode the XR 250R, an XR 350, an older one, and they're a lot more easier to maneuver. I'd recommend this bike for someone that's like over 5'10". I'm short, I'm only like 5'8". So I would highly recommend this bike for someone who's tall. And there's a lot of weight on this bike. It's definitely heavy. It only has 16,000 miles. Not too bad. All original. It's got the original key. The handlebars look like they're purple, but I mean, I'm sure it's blue, but sometimes it looks purple. But what a nice looking bike. Like I said, the major problems with this bike are the brakes, brake calipers. So we'll get that situated, and then we have to clean the carburetor. That's the second thing. And the third thing is the turn signal. And that's it. Other than that, it's not bad looking. It's clean. A little scuff here, scuff on the decal, but at the end of the day, it's still a DR650, baby. 650s. And the plastics are just in really decent shape for the age. Normally these are like really busted up. Everything's really clean. There's no cracks on the lenses, which is pretty amazing. Look at this, folks. Look how clean this is. And this is clean. Even has a nice little windshield. I mean, this bike is just so cool. You just got to sit back and you just got to look at it, because that's all you can do is just look at it for now. pretty soon ride it, but for now we're just going to sit back and look at it. This bike is not electric start. That's the only downside with this bike, is that it's not electric start, it's kick. And it has a decompression lever right here, decompression lever, and it's just like the XT350, just a bigger version of the Yamaha XT350, because the XT350 is not electric, it's kick just like this. But I mean, this thing's a big bore beast. I mean, the engine's just beefy. The engine has beefy written all over this thing, man. It's just a beefy bike, but this thing just looks so good, man. I think Chuck Norris rode this bike in, what's that movie called? The Delta Force. You folks remember the Delta Force? I don't know if you kids remember that, but I'm almost 40 years old, so back in the 80s, I used to watch all those cool movies and shows, and the Delta Force was pretty badass. He had like guns and stuff, and he'd be up on this horse. He'd be up on this Suzuki DR doing wheelies with guns, and he had like machine guns and everything. It was pretty crazy. But it's called the Delta Force, and Chuck Norris, I mean, Chuck Norris is badass, so if Chuck Norris rode this, you know Chuck Norris is serious, so this is a serious bike. So yeah, man, can't go wrong with the DR650s. But again, I think I paid too much for this bike. I think I did, but I just couldn't leave without it. I seen this bike and I looked at it, I'm like, oh man, you know, I was like, I gotta have this bike, and I really didn't even care about the money. Like, sometimes you want a bike so bad, you don't even think straight. You're just like, oh, I gotta have the bike, and then you're like, oh, what did I do afterwards? Like, maybe I spent too much money. But sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet, and you just gotta sit back and just take it, you know what I mean? Just do it. So yeah, man, beautiful bike, man. I mean, it's a blast from the past. You can't go wrong with the colors. The seat, man, is original, and it's so clean. A little tiny little flaw right there, a little tiny flaw, so little. But other than that, man, this bike is just oh, it looks so good, man. Like, this is a bike that you can have in the garage. You can have it in your garage, just sitting in there, and you know, you don't even have to ride it. Like, you can just to know that you have this bike, you know. So some people like me, I mean, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm that type of person where, like, man, I'll just buy the bike because just to know I have it. It's just knowing that it's in the garage or in your house, in your basement, and you just know, like, wow, I have that bike, you know. I have it. It's a really good feeling, you know. So I'm pretty pumped up right now, and I was wondering if they make an aftermarket exhaust for this. That would look pretty cool with a nice aftermarket pipe, you know. But yeah, man, I would definitely recommend this bike for a tall person. But I fit on it okay. But I'm telling you, man, this bike is pretty heavy. I'm sure you can ride some nice wheelies on this beast. Yeah, all I got to do is just get another turn signal, clean it up a little bit. You know, just need some love, man. It's DR650s. Needs some love, and this bike is it's a dual sport, so it's on and off road from the factory. It's got the bark busters. It's got the check that out. It's got the original mirrors. You can see that. Look at that. Come on, focus. It says Suzuki. Hold on one second. I gotta clean the lens. All right, back again. I cleaned the lens. Trying to get this thing to focus. But yeah, it says Suzuki right there. Suzuki. Look at that. Oh, come on and focus. Why'd you just focus? I can't get this thing to focus, man. But yeah, it says Suzuki on there. The original mirrors. Looks really cool. But yeah, man. Here's the 650 in all its glory. What else do I want to say about this bike? Oh, it's very hard to kick without the decompression lever. It has way too much compression, and that carburetor is probably nasty. I know it because the gas tank smells like varnish. So we got to get that fuel out of there and hope for the best. And I'll be back with a startup video. we can get this beast going, you know. It needs TLC, a little bit of TLC, not much, but a little bit. I mean, I've seen worse. The good thing is the mechanical aspect is in good shape. You know, the transmission, the clutch, everything's good. We just got to get this beast, you know, spiced up a little bit. But the warmer temperatures are coming. We'll definitely do that. And I can't get over this seat. The seat's really clean for being original. Never seen an original seat that clean like that. And it has a really cool rack here. Really strong, man. It's like bolted. It's bolted to the frame. It's connected to the frame. Really cool. And it's got an oil cooler. Check this out. It's got an oil cooler. Look at that. It's got an oil cooler on it. But the tank isn't too bad. It just needs to be cleaned up, but it's savable. I've seen worse. No major rot. Not too bad. But yeah. It's got the nice little factory indentations for when you turn so you don't bang up the tank. But the tank's actually really straight. It's not bad at all. Can't believe how clean this tank is for the age, for being a 91. It's actually in really decent shape. I mean, you're gonna, honestly, on an old Enduro, you're gonna see small dings and dents on the tank, which is, you know, it's normal, you know. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a used bike. You know, this bike was used. You know, it was ridden. It looks like it was ridden mostly on the street because the frame rails are in great shape. It has the factory. This looks to be factory skid plate. And under here is just minty fresh. And the oil actually isn't that bad. It's not, from the camera you can't tell, but it's actually not really that dirty. You can see it's still gold. It's not too bad. I've seen worse. But it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. With a little bit of cleaning, I think this bike will be pretty darn sweet, man. I mean, you don't see these anymore. Not like this. And for being a 91, this looks pretty darn good. It just needs a little TLC. I think I paid a little too much for it, but I'm going to end this video soon because I think I talked enough. And if you're looking for one of these bikes and you're tall, I would highly recommend it. I've never ridden, I don't remember riding a DR650. I might have a long time ago. I just can't remember off the top of my head, but hopefully we'll get this thing fired up, clean the carburetor, drain the tank out, put some fresh gas in there, and we'll take it from there. We'll get the brakes situated, and we got a nice clean DR650s, baby. So thank you for all the subscribers. I appreciate all the subscribers. I did not think I would have that many subscribers, and it's really awesome. So I appreciate it, and be safe out there. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Bratman Official. I know it's Instagram. I call it Instant. So you can follow me on Instagram at Bratman Official, and be back with more videos. Peace and hair grease. See ya.